mods and a quick
LOL Player Day. Zase jsem viděl, že udělají jakýsi 3 dny na oslavu 15. narozenin LOLka.
look at season 2025.
But first, let's hear from the modes
Bez
team.
ono, ne?
Hey everyone, Eduardo Riot Cadmus Cortejoso here to give you an update on modes. It's been a big year for us. Not only did Arena make its return for round 3, but we also launched Swarm. These modes have been such a joy for all of us to work on, and so on behalf of the entire modes team, thank you all for playing. Now, let's get into the future of Arena and Swarm. I'll start with the question everyone's been asking, are you going to make Arena permanent? The short answer is no.
Já nehraju už tak 2 měsíce třeba.
While Arena has been getting
Já jsem hrál tak první 2 týdny, že se na to vykašlo.
a lot of love from many of you. Once we hit the 2-month mark, we saw a pretty big drop-off in game hours and engagement. Unfortunately, even our mid-run content update didn't quite inspire a lot of players to come back. But don't worry, Arena won't be gone forever.
Já taky už mě nechytlo pokno. Já jsem hrál 1-2 týdny a pak už mě to prostě nebavilo, no. A to tak bylo vždycky, když to vydávali. To oni to vydávali 2krát zatím jenom, ne? Nebo možná 3krát. Z začátku to baví a pak už zpátky do rankerů.
We're planning on bringing it back in the first half of next year with some much needed quality of life improvements and even some more wacky augments for you to play around with. Now for Swarm. So from the beginning, Swarm was never intended to be a permanent game mode. And that's still the case right now. I know a lot of us, myself included, look back fondly on both Star Guardian and Odyssey, but Swarm actually surpassed both of these modes in terms of player engagement. And while we don't have a decision on
Odstranili ranky z toho, z aren.
if or when Swarm will be back just yet, given how much you all played, we're taking some of the learnings into consideration for future game modes and even the potential return of Swarm. I also wanted to let you know that Ultimate Spellbook will be returning as our next rotating game mode. It's already on PB right now. We'll be going out next patch. And before I go, I wanted to talk
Ale upřímně taky jsem ten Ultimate Spellbook nějak moc nefetoval, no. Ale bylo to fun, občas to.
a little bit about ARAM. We know ARAM hasn't gotten much focus this year outside of regular balance updates. But don't worry, ARAM enjoyers. We got something cooking for you that will be oven fresh before the end of the year. That's it
A hráme v pohodě, no, ale taky ho nehraju nějak často, no. Což jsem nehrál několik měsíců třeba.
for the modes team for now. Make sure to check out the dev blog that comes out with this
Prostě zasekli na Summer Riftu, vole, pořád.
video for more information on both Swarm and Arena. And we'll be back in January to walk you through some of our plans in 2025.
Hey everyone.
Že nech Urfy a ne arény, vole. A mě taky Urfa ani nebaví třeba. Když ho dávali naposled, tak jsem ho nehrál vůbec, tak jsem hrál třeba 1-2 hry Urfa a mě to přestalo bavit. A to jsem asi jenom já, jako neříkám, že to všechny nemusí bavit, co, vole.
I'm Riot Froxon. I'm here to talk to you about matchmaking. Today we wanted to take a moment to look at how some of the changes we introduced this season have landed, and to share the areas we're looking to tackle next. Earlier this year, we had an issue causing some accounts to enter negative LP states.
Matchmaking, negativní LP states.
This meant players would lose more LP per loss than they'd gain per win, even if
No.
their MMR indicated they should be climbing. As of today, we no longer see this problem. Another problem we've been working on is
Je to
autofill.
vyřešený.
We don't want games to be decided by which team has fewer autofill players, so we should
Přesně to je to, co říkám už dlouho. Na High Elu je každá hra rozhodnutá tím, který tým má víc autofilů. Takže který tým má víc hráčů, který neumí hrát svoji roli. Přesně tak se rozhodují hry na High Elu, protože jeden tým jich má třeba 2 a jeden druhý má 1. V jednom týmu to dobávají 2 lidi a v druhém to dobává jenom 1. Tady tým vyhraje, že jo? Není to složitý jako rozhodnout úplně.
some changes in 14-17 to better balance the amount of filled players in each team. At the time of recording, we've noticed some pretty good improvements, with the amount of games with an autofill discrepancy of 2 or more players dropping from 10 to 15% to less than 0.1%.
Méně než 0,1%, jo.
As of today,
Okay.
games with 2-0 or 3-1 autofill players have been effectively eliminated.
Hezky, kámo.
This is a good first step, but we want to do more work in this area. Next up, we'll be working on situations where one team has an autofilled player and the other doesn't, with a focus on high MMR, where this problem is especially
Jako
impactful.
na Elu je problém, že tam je málo lidí docela, no, takže tam jako dát dva perfektně vybalancovaný týmy proti sobě je prostě složitý, no. To zase jako chápu, no, že tam prostě těch hráčů je míň a i když jsi třeba Challenger, tak hraješ proti, já nevím, Masterům a Dia lidem, no. To jinak prostě nejde, je tam málo lidí.
Because of the small player populations. We've also got an evaluation underway on a system called True Skill 2. That could potentially help
True Skill 2.
out meaningfully with things like better placing new accounts and detection of smurfs. As of now,
Oh.
we're actively testing its effectiveness and determining how good a fit it is for League. We'll let you all know once we have an update on what testing has shown. And that's it for me today. Make sure to check out the devlog that just came out with a lot more details on how our 2024 changes landed and where we're looking to focus our efforts going forward.
All right, a slight change of pace.
Okay.
Let's talk about Teemo's art and audio update. It's coming to the Rift in patch 1420 with updated visuals, audio, animations, and splash art. Gameplay won't be changing, so for those of you who love or hate Teemo, you're welcome, and or we're sorry.
Vypadá solidně.
When this update comes out, we'll be increasing the cost of his Happy Elf, Recon, and Badger skins to
Asi upgradenuli skiny, tak je i zdražší.
$750, given the increased quality on those skins. As with Lee Sin's update earlier in the year, if you don't own
Jak 750 není moc RPček, ne?
these skins yet, you
Stejně.
can purchase them for 520 RP until it goes live if you want to get them
Můžete si je koupit za levelu, no, ještě předtím než je zdraží. O 200 pade.
at that cheaper price. If you'd like to learn more, check out our blog that's live today that goes into a whole bunch of details about our favorite little monster and making him look brand new.
Also, Teemo's receiving a theme song, which will go live next week. Here's a sneak peek.
Zajímavé, no. No, tak je určitě hezčí, no, neříkám. Určitě vypadá daleko líp. To je portál do Bandle City, to je hezký, že? To je dobrý loreový detail.
We've got Worlds 2025 kicking off in 3 days on September 25th with play-ins in Berlin. After Berlin, it's then Paris for both
Play-ins v Berlíně.
quarterfinals and semifinals, followed by London for the finals.
This year we've brought back Pick'ems, along with a new feature we're calling Global Power Rankings, that we think should be good if you want to get up to speed on teams or regions that you're less familiar with. Or maybe you just want to argue
Čete, že být klidní, ne, v Berlíně se nepodepisuje mnichovská dohoda, jsou tam jenom play-ins, dobrý.
with our rankings about how your favorite teams stack up against their competition globally.
We just dropped a dev blog that explains global power rankings in more detail, so go check it out if you want to learn more. And finally, World's Anthem will drop tomorrow, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. In case you missed it, this year's World's artist is Linkin Park.
Along with Worlds in October, we'll also be celebrating League Player Days journeys over the last 15 years. Player Days will be 3 themed days that celebrate players of all kinds, from casual enjoyers to hardcore ranked climbers.
The celebration will kick off with Creative Day, with the focus especially on artists. Then Music Day, to celebrate our true calling.
Bude Artist Day, Music Day a co si ještě?
On artists. Then Music Day, to celebrate our true calling, being a music company.
Asi Player
and finally,
Day, já nevím.
Esports Day, to highlight
Esport
the
Day, jo.
ultimate competition in League. On each day, we'll share stories from players around the globe about what League means to them.
There'll also be some
Budu tam já.
missions you can complete for earnable in-game
Snaha.
content, including a very special and Civer skin. Nailed it.
Yep.
There'll also be 3 Player Days skins available for purchase, with proceeds going towards the Riot
To tak pade na pade, mi se půlka skinů, co vydali, vůbec nelíbí a druhá je docela dobrá poslední dobou. Třeba ten skin na Veigar, co teďka vydali, ten Fright Night, nebo co to je, a ještě ty ostatní, ten Nunu, strašidelný Nunu, nevím, strašidelný ještě něco, tak to jsou dobrý skiny, že? To se mi actually líbí, ten, jakoby ten art styl a ten tým těch skinů se vypadá dobře. Neviděl jsem je teda ještě ve hře, ale pořádně, ale vypadá dobře. A má nové Teemo čepici? Jaj.
Game Social Impact Fund. These will be cosplayer Nico,
Takhle si představujete mě, když cosplayu nějakou postavu, když cosplayu Garagase třeba. To ne. Jako vypadá to v pohodě asi. Asi to bude jeden z těch vtipnějších skinů.
esports fan Tron,
Okay. Tak to vypadá zajímavé. Akorát když on v ruce drží ten obrovský key, on ho má na zádech, aha. OK, vypadá dobře docela.
and finally, the skin you've all been waiting decades for.
Někdo mi říkal vše to, že KDA Gragas.
Celebrating love for the music of KDA. The one, the only, Gragas.
No ty vole. To břicho. Oni to fakt udělali. No
For every
paráda.
purchase
Já to miluju.
Gragas.
Tak to budu pro ně zahraje, ty vole. Šum na to, ne. No nádhera.
For every purchase of these 3 Player Day skins from October 9th to October 28th, 2024, Riot will contribute 100% of proceeds, as well as a 3x match to the Riot Games Social Impact Fund. The festivities kick off on October 9th, which will also have a dev Q&A stream at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Join to have some fun with League devs. Here's
Ale
some
akorát mi teda přijde, že ten Gragasův skin není podobný nějakým skinu, který už na Gragase vyšel. Jako barvama, víš, a s artem trochu. Mně přijde, že on má jakýsi takový, ale nevím.
stories from the old days, celebrate all of you, and just hang out. But we want to be clear, there won't be any big announcements or new games, so please stop by and say hi, chat about League, and meme with us or on us. Well, Player Days is all about celebrating your League journeys over the
Že budou znovu tady nový hry na tom, jo, nějaký.
past 15 years. We also want to talk a bit about our plans for next year.
Starting in 2025, we're evolving our approach with League seasons. Throughout the year, we'll have 3 distinct thematic seasons, each bringing its own narrative, progression, and content updates. Our goal is for
Dobré.
each season to feel distinct, with different experiences, themes, moments, etc. highlighted.
So that means in 2025, each season will include a new champion that's a core part of that season's thematic, with some connection to champions from other seasons as well.
Každá sezóna bude mít nového šampiona. Jakože každý split. Jasně, takže 3 splity, 3 šampioné na rok.
Each season will include a new champion that's a core part of that season's thematic, with some
Že ty sezóny budou mít ještě nějakou tématiku svoji, jako.
connection to champions from other seasons as well. Each season will also have gameplay updates too, of course.
Co
One
takhle dělat revorky, kurva? Vydávat furt nový postavičky.
thing we'll be tackling for the first season next year is how a game can feel doomed once you have an exposed nexus, and quite often people lose motivation to continue to fight. So we're exploring options.
Počkej, že říkal, že hra je doomed, když už máš jenom otevřený Nexus. Oni udělají to, že si budou moct obnovit turety, ne? Nebo co tím chtěl říct? Je pravda, no, že když nemáš žádný turety, tak jsi v piči většinou, že? To už nejde comebacknout. Ty vole, já jsem zvědavý, co vymyslí, no.
And how to solve this experience and hope to bring a more competitive feel right to the very end of the
Okay.
game.
Now, we'll look at some larger scope changes as well, of course, but we're going to be saving those for a little bit. We know we didn't get into too much detail on gameplay today. We'll have a lot more, though, on our January plans, and a dev update in November, a few days after the finale of Arcane.
V listopadu, po Arcaneu, někdy po 21. kdy je Arcane 21. finále, nebo 23. ve finále Arcaneu, tak pak bude update další o tom, co budou dělat v lednu. V listopadu nás update o tom, co budou dělat v lednu.
A few days after the finale of Arcane.
All right, so
Ok.
that's it for now. Don't forget to finalize your
Ok,
pick'ems,
guys.
tune into Worlds, read the dev blogs, and join us for Player Days.
As always, thank you for watching.
Player Days.
We'll see you on the...
Já jsem ještě viděl někde, myslím, že na Instagramu ten rework týma, jako fotky z toho, přímo od Riotu. Dívej, vole. Teemo ASU. Prodloužili jsme jeho končetiny, aby se pohyboval efektivně. Upravili jsme doplňky, aby byly lépe rozhodnatelné. Upravili jsme barvy a parametry, blablabla. Zviditelnili jsme jeho obrys. Jeho gameplay zůstává nezměněný. Když je nahej, vypadá do mega dobře, že? To potřebuju skin nahýho týma. A teďka má jakýsi ruličky na zádech. Papírový. To ukradl Ryzemu možná, ne? Bude schopen nově vyzařovat emoce a jeho osobnost bude o to rozmanitější. Ok, to jsou ty reworknutý skiny, co říkali, který zdražejí o pár RPček. Jako ta muchomůrka na hlavě vypadá dobře, že? Chtěli jsme, aby byl Teemo více jako ostatní orlové, přidali jsme trochu hravosti do některých animací. On se odportí do Bundle City, no. Spojení s Legends of Runeterra je pro nás také důležité, takže jsme do jeho recallu přidali malou narážku na portál z filmu Don't Mess with the Yordles. Dobré, no. Hezký rework.